Hi, welcome to my video on extra problems number 1 on derivatives of polynomial functions. Number 1, find the value of x when the slope of the parabola is 0. So again, we assume that I'm saying a parabola, so I have to simplify this into the ax squared plus bx plus c form. So the f of x, so I have to simplify this expression. So PEMDAS I will square first. So when we square this, that's 2x squared is 4x squared. Product is negative 6x, double is negative 12x, and negative 3 squared is 9. So I have done PEMDAS, I have done the powers first. Now I will simplify the rest of the expression. And we have a multiplication here and a multiplication here. So I have 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. Subtract, I'll do the multiplication first. So I'll use FOIL. So x times x is x squared. And the outside is 4x, the inside is negative x. So that's a plus 3x. And negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. And I can leave the negative there and just multiply it by 2, and that will give me 2x minus 4. I could have multiplied the negative 2 by this bracket and had a plus here. Now that I have that done, I will simplify, can't simplify this expression. To subtract, if I put a 1 here, that makes it a negative x squared minus 3x plus 4. And I put a 1 here and multiply, I get a negative 2x plus 4. So now that I have that all simplified, let's add up the like terms. I have a 3x squared minus 12 minus 3 minus 2 is a negative 17. And 9 plus 4 is plus 17. So I have the expression simplified, and notice we have a parabola, ax squared plus bx plus c. So we want to get the slope of the parabola is 0, so that's the slope of the tangent. So that's the slope of the parabola is 0 is when we have to do the derivative. And the derivative is f prime, and 3 times 2 is 6, and the power decreases by 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And the derivative of a negative 17x is negative 17, because that's a linear. Derivative of 17 is 0, so we have the derivative of 6x minus 17. Now, the slope of the parabola is 0 when the f prime x is equal to 0. So that means that 6x minus 17 is equal to 0. 6x is equal to 17. Divide by 6, we get 17 over 6. So the values of x where the slope of the parabola is 0 is where the tangent is 0, and that's at x equals 17 over 6. Again, I'm doing the simplification here because when you do calculus, you're always simplifying algebraic expressions. So that's why I'm doing this as little extra problems. Number 2, find the values of x when the function is increasing. And again, the function is increasing, and the function is increasing when the derivative is greater than 0. But before we can do the derivative, I have to simplify this expression. Now that's the f of x, or we could also have that y prime is greater than 0. Because the f of x, or f of x, the x dash x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0, or we could say that prime. So let's simplify this expression. Again, we want to square this expression first. So first term squared is x squared. Product is negative 2 double, negative 4x. and the last term squared is plus 4. So we have the exponent done. Now we'll do the multiplication, and that's a negative 3x squared plus 12x minus 12. And we multiply here, so we can multiply by x and then do the subtraction, but just as well to multiply by negative x, we get negative x squared minus 8x. So y equals negative 3, negative 1 is a negative 4x squared, and 12 minus 8 is a plus 4x minus 12. That's in descending order. We have the function is a parabola, and so we want to find where it's increasing. So it's y prime is greater than 0. So let's do the derivative. So that's negative 4 times 2 is negative 8x, and the derivative of 4x is just 4, and the derivative of the constant is 0. So that means we want to find where y prime is greater than 0. That means we're looking for negative 8x plus 4 is greater than 0. Negative 8x is greater than negative 4. Divide by negative 8, divide by negative 8, we get x, and we get, that's a half, negative over negative, 4 into 8 goes 2, and because we divide by negative, that's less than. So when x is less than 1/2, this function, which is a parabola, is increasing. That means the slope of x less than a half, the slope of the parabola is negative, going downward. Number 3, find the value of x where y is decreasing. So y is decreasing. That means, I'll just put it right here. That means that y prime is less than 0. So y prime is less than 0, but we have to simplify this function first. And again, we have a power, so let's take our time and work out the exponent. And we're going to square this. So 2x squared is 4x squared. Product is negative 2x doubled, negative 4x. Negative 1 squared is 1. So I have the power done. Now I see that I have a multiplication here, a subtraction, and a multiplication. So we multiply this monomial as a binomial, 6x squared plus 3, I almost made a mistake, plus 9x. And we're doing a subtraction, so we leave that alone. Now I could put a bracket around this if I wish, but don't have to. But I'm doing the multiplication first, just to obey PEMDAS. So when I multiply this by FOIL, notice I got two binomials, plus minus, so that comes out to be the difference of two squares. But if I multiply x by x, I get x squared. The outside is x, the inside is negative x, which is 0. Negative 1 times 1 is 1. Now I will do the subtraction. So 6x squared plus 9x. When I subtract, I add on the opposite, or I put a 1 here and multiply. Negative 4x squared plus 4x minus 1. And again, I can add on the opposite, or put a 1 here and multiply by negative 1. I get a negative x squared plus 1. And so that simplifies to, I got 6, negative 4, negative 1. That's an x squared. And I have a 9 and a 4x. That's a 13x. And I have 1 and negative 1. They cancel out. And the value is decreasing when y prime is less than 0. So let's do y prime, the derivative. Derivative of x squared is 2x. The derivative of 13x is 13. And we have that y prime is less than 0. So that means 2x plus 13 is less than 0. And that means that 2x is less than negative 13 divided by 2x is less than negative 13 over 2. Now you can call that, if you wish, you can call it a negative 6.5, or you can call it a negative 6.5, whatever you want. So that's the values of x in this function, which will be decreasing. And decreasing means that the slope of the tangent is going to be negative. And increasing means the slope of the tangent is going to be positive, greater than 0. Now we have one more to finish this video off. Number 4, y equals 2x squared plus 6kx plus 8. Find the value of k if y prime is greater than 0 when x is greater than 3. So this is a parabola, and this is a parabola that's positive. So what happens at 3, if this derivative is occurring, increasing, notice it's increasing when x is greater, so it's on this side. So that means that I'm going to draw several scenarios. So it could be this at 3. It could be this at 3. It could be here at 3. But the value of x is 3. So that means that 3, it has a vertex of 3, k. Because it's occurring at the derivative is increasing, which is this side here, when it's greater than 3, so it means the x-coordinate of the vertex is 3. So that means I got the vertex where x is 3. So now I will do the derivative of y prime. So y prime derivative is 4x. Derivative here is plus 6k. Derivative of the constant is 0. So that means that I have greater than 0. So that means I have 4x plus 6 is going to be greater than 0. And that's when x is greater than 3, so at 3. So that means we have x is 3. So 6k is greater than, that's a 12. So 0 there. 6k is greater than negative 12. Divide by 6. K is going to be greater than negative 2. So if you put negative 2 back here, and that will give you negative 12, and you did the derivative, then when k is greater than, that's starting off at 2, at 2 you get a 0. So if you put a negative 2 in the place of x right here, that'll give you a negative 12. You did the derivative, and you let the derivative equal 0, you find it starts at negative 2, and all the numbers for k greater than negative 2 will make this parabola increasing, because that's an increasing for when the values of x are greater than 3. And these extra problems is helping us do some extra math, and I like to work on the algebra part of it because it helps me when I do the calculus. And again, if you like the video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.